Hello, good morning, everyone, my dear students. So, once again, I'm so sorry for a few weeks na gyud no na I was not able to discuss personally or in live sa inyo ha sa tong discussion because of the COPC requirements or evaluation. So, ako na ipasabot sa inyo no, og balik that this COPC evaluation is really needed or very important para sa ato ang department, especially for you to enjoy the free tuition fee. Para mapadayon paghihapon na to no, ang ato ang benefits sa pag-enjoy sa free tuition fee. So, kinahanglan nun ginamo siyang buhaton because kinahanglan po nato i-comply ang mga documents. Okay, sa CHED, kinapa evaluation ang CHED. So, di man makaya sa to ang HM faculty nga kanang putol-putulon na ang pag-process because napod siya deadline. So, we need to somewhat like mukuha og time sa classes because we need to do it. Okay? Hope ang tanan makasabot ana because it's not for us, it's for you, my dear students, para still maka-enjoy gihapon ta sa tong ginatawag nga free tuition fee. No? Okay, so once again, good morning. And it is really my pleasure to have you all in my class. And please do listen into the discussion. And if you're not satisfied with the discussion, you can search on web kung unsa inyong makita dito or kung unsa pa inyong ma-learned. Okay? Because not everything can be introduced or mahatag nako tanang informations. Okay? So, this morning we will talk about transportation sector since we are in the transportation na nga part. So, when we're talking about tourism, when we're talking about tourist destination, when we're talking about why do people travel, okay? When they travel, when people tend to travel, of course, there should be transportation. There is a way or there is a link in order to go on that specific destination. Like for example, if you want to travel going to south part of Cebu, so you needed a vehicle for transportation. Like, okay ra nga, maglakaw ka, but unsa ka kaadlaw maabot dito ano, is it okay? It is okay siguro that if you will go a specific destination that is doon lang siya. So no need yung transportation. Bisan gali og diri tag Cordova lang mag-tricycle mga ita or mag-tricycle ta because um ang purpose sa transportation, it's giving you comfort na kung mo-travel ka, when you go into specific destination, mas dali ka maabot and you're comfortable nga inig-abot mo dito okay nga dali ang imuhang pag-adto sa usa ka lugar. It will not take time or it will not consume your entire time traveling into specific destination. Okay? So, transportation sector. Kay unsam ini ang transportation sector, sir? First, we will be talking about the evolution. Nga naman evolution, sir? Diba? Nga naman evolution sa transportation sector. It's because there is an evolution in transportation sector. Mura na gihapon na gud siya gud nga gipanganak ang usa ka industry. Gipanganak ang usa ka henerasyon. Okay? Gipanganak ang usa ka bata. There is a changes. There is an innovation. Okay, there is a changes, there is an innovation, there is a growth. Okay, remember, due to the curiosity of human being, okay, curious man mga tao, no? We are always curious kung unsa ang mga butang-butang dinhi sa kalibutan. So that's why we keep on testing, we keep on trying things, we keep on doing things. It's because dili lang moingon ta nga ang tao kutob ra diha. Ang hunahuna sa tao is unending ang iyang paghuna-huna. Remember that ang atoang needs and wants is dili siya mo-stop. Okay? Di siya mo-stop bisan pag madato ka. That is reality. Bisan pag madato ka unsa kadako na imong kwarta diha, rest assured that walay kaundangan ang needs and wants sa tao. Because of that needs and wants, due to curiosity, ang usa ka tawo moingon nga, I need to go. I need to go and try these things. I need to go on there to know these things. That's why we are studying. That's why we go to different places to learn something. Due to that learning and due to that curiosity, you were able to say that, okay, I need to try these things to discover new things. That's why we have inventors. Okay? That's why we have people in the industry who are developing things. Okay? It could be due to not due to um certain situation, like for example, in transportation, in traveling, there is a need arises that, okay, how we can go into specific destination nga maka-travel ta nga mas easier for us. Okay? So, we have it here about, we will discuss about the evolution of travel. Okay? The transportation sector. The transportation and travel evolution. So, according into the pre-industrial travel system era, this was the period before the widespread of industrialization in the Europe and North America. Okay, and there were almost no regularly scheduled transportation services. Okay, and there was little travel. A few people had the money and the reason to travel, but in that time, in that particular time, it's not been yet industrialized. So there's no specific transportation. So in that times, there was a little travel because lacking of transportation. And but you know, guys, before those travel or transportation sector being discovered or being studied, before, we are using horses, we are using camels in transportation as part of the transportation nga ginagamit nila before. But this is a vehicle. We're talking about here the vehicle that we are using in transportation. So before, of course, we are using animals to travel. Okay, we are using our own feet to travel. Okay, naglalakbay tayo. Sila pa di ay. Naglalakbay sila kung saan nila gustong pumunta. So going into different ages, ice age, char. Bitaw, when you're watching the movie about ice age, so people travel, okay, ang mga tao ni travel, naggamit lang silang tiil, people travel using camels, using elephants, okay, using dito camel or using horses or maybe unsa pa ilahang ginasakyan or animals. But due to the curiosity of human beings, okay, due to the evolution of travel, of course, in the civilization nga naanay mga tao, naanay cities, ang tapok na nadaghan ang mga tao, yes, existing gihapon ang transportation wherein using horses, using these animals, but we are talking right now is vehicular, okay, vehicles, okay, machine, okay, naani mga machines. So, we have it here about transportation and travel evolution. So, in the pre-industrial system era, less ang travel. So, that is what we need to hear here in this part, that there is a less of travel because of less of transportation. Less of transportation nga mga use mga equipments or technologies. So that is in the industrial travel system era. So less ra nga ang naikwarta ang mga tao, but how can they go beyond? Okay, for example, in the city, nga asa sila nagpuyo, anha lang sila maka-travel. It's because wala may magamit nga transportation going towards the other city. It could be some of them they can travel, but less lang siya because maybe there are horses. So gamay ra gyud kaayo ang ga-travel using sa man mga machine operated nga mga transportation equipments. So but pag abot sa early industrial travel system era, road improvements such as railways, canals, steamship services were brought about due to rapid industrialization and advances in transportation technology. And there are common carriers came into existence and began to offer regularly scheduled transportation services. Travel increased because of more people who had money to travel. So, in this time, in this early industrial travel system era, it been said that lalo yung mga na-develop ng mga railways, ang mga highways siguro nila, or should I say, ang mga roads nila na-develop na side. So, there are inventions, there are technologies that is being used para maka-transport ang mga tao. So, there is already a money, there is the curiosity of human beings, there is a the why do people tends to travel, the reason. So kung naano na siya nga mga key, so people can travel into different places. Okay, so it's been said here that travel increased because more people who had money tends to travel, they want to travel. So, na sila gusto antuon sa pika syudad. They can travel na because there is a connection. There is an outlet. There is a key na to go in that place. Okay? For example, kaning mga suok-suok na area. Kung wala pa ni mga roads ang mga suok-suok na area, who wants to travel there? Kung maglakaw ka, kung layo kayo. For example, ang south og ang from Cebu City to south, walay agianan, walay road, dili makasud ang motor. But mag-fit lang ka or magsakay ka kabayo. Kaysa mo ganahan mo sig travel na dito, kapoy oroy. Pero if there is there is transportation nga ginagamit, like for example railways or roads or a way, then ang kanang imong sakyanan, kanang imuhang mga kanang kuan diha mga equipments mo like sakyanan, motor baron, makaagi na. So, mas ang imong encouragement, ang imong motivation to travel is na kay you have the access naman. You have the easiest access towards that certain place. So we have it here. The next one is mature railway system era. Okay? This era was characterized by railway, by which expanded their operations by running hotels and providing other travel related services. Okay? So, and in this time also, travel agencies and tour companies were formed. Okay? Thomas Cook, an innovator in this field during this era, began his company's activities in UK in 1840, and more people traveled. Okay, remember that in this time there is a transportation. Given that there is a transportation upgrades, okay, so which is expanded their operations by running hotels and providing travel related services. So remember that when you travel in a area nga dili ni permanent nga balay, okay? Or they're in a permanent nga place. If you go there, of course, mangitag katulganan. Remember that there are two types of visitors in a place: the excursionist and the tourist. So what is tourist? Okay, tourists travel in a specific destination or is there in a certain destination nga mustay siya 24 hours in that place and will make an overnight stay. Whilst the excursionist, these types of visitor traveled into a specific destination less than 24 hours and will not make an overnight stay. Okay? So that is the difference between that is the two types of visitors. So, in this time of mature railway, of course, nagunahuna ang tao, like, Uy, mo travel ko dito then wala ba ya akong balay dito then I will be staying there for 2 days. So sa may akong buhaton, that's why because of the arising of needs, ang mga tao naghuna-huna na sad, ang mga business-minded people think that okay, this is a good business due to the increasing number of people who traveled into different destination into different reasons. How about we will make a business talking about accommodations. Okay? So kaning hotels guys, kaning mga inns, kaning mga motor hotels, ang general term nila ana is accommodation. Okay? Accommodations. So sila ang nag-accommodate sa mga guests, providing their needs and wants, providing the shelter, providing the basic needs. So that is what we call accommodation, accommodating your guests. Kung mo ng trabaho sa hospitality, mo ng trabaho sa hospitality industry, the number one thing here is accommodating. Okay, accommodating our customers, providing their needs and wants. Okay? So, mo na siya ang dinhi sa mature railways system era. Nagkataas, nagkadaghan ang ni-travel, okay, into different places. Kaya of course, na namin access sa roads. And remember, kung wala kay kaila dito what you need to do? Of course, mangita ka og accommodation. That's why in these times, ni-arise ang operations of running hotels or accommodations. Okay? Kani si Thomas Cook, an innovator in this field during this era, began this company activities in UK in 1840s. Kani siya naggamit ni siya og mga siyang nag-start class about using the business of developing travel agencies. Siya ang ni-develop ani. So si kani si Thomas Cook, ang iyang mindset is business. It's all about business. So ang iyang ginahuna, okay, people tends to travel and availing services sa usa ka kanang transportation company. So ni travel. Like moingon ko nimo kanang connected ka sa kanang kuan, kanang transportation company. Like, nagdragan ba ka nun sa train? Na nakabutan dito, okay, accommodation is blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Or else, you're connected with the or the transportation nga who wants to book with package deal or package amount that if you purchase a ticket in this place and if you will be staying for 2 nights or 2 days na akay usa ka hotel nga adtuan nga mo'y mo cater sa imong accommodation. That is what we call travel agencies. Sila ang nakikipagitna between travel, transportation, and accommodation team. So, ako may mo arrange. For example, ako si agency. Okay? Ako may mo arrange sa tour or sa travel. So, bright sa ni sa Thomas Cook no kay they're providing kuan di ba kay for example wa pa may internet sa una ilig adto ni usa sa ka destination mapangita pa ka dito og ganang kuan mapangita pa ka og accommodation but due to the business nga gi build ni Thomas Cook course pakaingon ta nga uy it's easier for me I will just pay the hassle is there for in them na. So sila na ang mo saman. Sila na ang mo prepare. Sila na ang mangitag accommodation nimo. Once you travel, there is you're accommodated in the travel sector. Okay? Then once you travel, okay, you are accommodated in a hotel. So it's easiest for you. So in this macho rail system era, the time na ani hotels or providing of accommodations, okay, is na ana and the development of agencies. Okay, ang mga agency na ana because of Thomas Cook. Okay, express travel system era. Okay. So express services increased Trains and other forms of transportation did not stop at at every station or terminal, but only at the major ones. So this increased the speed of travel and encouraged more travel than before. So in this express travel system era, of course, there is a development, innovation of transportation. So dili lang in that place. For example, ang train magatuyok lang in, for example lang ha, wa man tay train diri sa Labaktan. Just for example, so on train, nag-travel lang or nagatuyok-tuyok lang sa Lapu-Lapu. Due to the express travel system era, it increased its services. So then the trains and other forms of transportation did not stop at every station or terminal, but only at the major ones. So ang kani sa iyang mga kuan class is, for example, there is an additional there is an additional point or additional services. Niadto na ang services sa niabot na ang from Lapu-Lapu niabot na og Cebu City going to Mandawi City. So ang ihang bus or train stop is Lapu-Lapu, Mandawi, and Cebu City because of its huge nga capabilities na in handling customers. The freedom of transportation, where to pick up the traffic of the people and where is the drop off. Okay, so increase the speed of travel and encourage more travel than before. So because of its scope, because of its scope and the increased services, the innovation of services, na ano po yung mga bagong gi-offer nga services, people will always say that, hala, mas nindot lagi ni kay maabot na tag Mandawi City, maabot na tag Cebu City, 'di ba? Nagkataas. Like for example in Portugal, sa Portugal, nagsumpay na ilang train which is connecting into different cities. So that is an example, express service increased means ni-provide siya og another nga station or ni-provide siya og laing city nga ma-connected mo. Okay? From city A, city B, city C, city D. Okay? Diba? Inana siya. So we have it here. The next one is automobile-based travel system era. Okay? So, in this type of kanang automobile-based travel, okay guys, ako lang i-clarify, no, dili certain ha, dili certainly nga, sir, train gid na siya puro tanan, sir, kaning kuan gid na siya tanan, kaning train ra gid ang example ta, no, it's not only train, depende kung usa ang mode of transportation nga ginagamit, ha? Depende sa ginagamit before nga transportation. But we will not dig in on that kay di na po na kay specific na to nga atong ikon gyud yung usa ding specific nga travel before. Okay? Because we are na may specific nga subject sa handling travel management. Okay? So we have it here, automobile-based travel system era. Car ownership boomed in North America. Kani, motorways, interstate highways, and other trunk highways were developed in the later half of this era, which was from 1920 to 1974. The automobile was predominant over other travel modes from 1920 to 1945. Okay, when you are talking about automobile, kaning ato mga sakyanan, okay, kaning ato mga ginamao og car, okay, kaning ato lahi man og nagway ang automobile, okay, atong i-search sa pa yung mga dagway sa mga automobile before so that you can see it. Okay, ang mga automobile before is napoy nani, kani mga karan-karan og naong, okay? Napoy ang mga nani pa ang mga automobile before. So, when you're talking about automobile, okay, then there is a car ownership. The car ownership during the time of automobile base. Remember that this car, it is um madala mo anywhere and it's your personal. It's easier for you to travel into different places. It's easier for you to go into that specific destination. Mas dali sa imuha mo travel, correct? And daghan nang ni exist ana nga time about transportation, of transportation. Okay? So this time, automobile-based travel system era, okay, ang mga car ownership or ang mga car or automobile is naa na diri ni boom sad sila like owning my own car. It is my kuan na gyud my great opportunity to travel into different places. Okay? The next one that we have is modern tourism travel system era. Okay? At the period from 1945 to 1974 is known as the modern tourism system era. And then, car ownership continued to grow at a fast rate, mainly at the expense of long distance rail travel. Then, the introduction of wide bodied jets in 1970 greatly increased air travel, and the most mass tourism philosophy and marketing approaches were prevalent, okay, during the 1950s and 1960s. In a modern tourism travel system era, so there is an increased travel of tourists, okay, with the increased number of car, okay, with the increased number of car travelers, okay, railways travelers, any type of travel in this time must be boom siya because it's not just only booming about the transportation sector, it is booming also na boom sad ang tourism sector. Ano man, if daghan na ang mag-access of travel, daghan na ang maka-access of transportation, it's easy for them to go into different places. Once it's easier for the people to travel into different places, of course, tourism sector, okay, ang tourism sector, mo grow sad, mo boom sad sila. Because I have the access to go in there. But if there is a lesser access to go into specific place, mas listed siya which means mo dili mo grow kaayo ang tourism industry. Okay? So that is in this time modern tourism travel system era, there is a car ownership and the introduction of wide-bodied jets in 1970 greatly increased air travel. So introduce na po diri ang air travel no. So later on we will discuss about the air transportation. We have it here, post mobility adjustment era. In this era, it begins in 1973 and 1974 as a result of the oil embargo generated by OPEC and the resulting increase in fuel prices. So there is a crisis in this time. Okay, due to the increasing number of cars, okay, or automobile, of course, they are using gasoline. They're using gasoline, right? So there is a um pag-aangkat. May pag-aangkat din ng gasolina sa ibang bansa. There is um um outsourcing of gas. So, and this time there is a crisis. So once nga na crisis, when you're talking about fuel prices, okay, the increase of fuel prices, of the increase of fuel prices, this is what we call crisis. Okay, hala, nagkataas naman ang presyo sa gasolina. Okay, remember ko kung karon sa tong time mo yung tanong nagtaas ang gasolina, nitaas ang krudo. Wow, makuyawan ta. Wow, makuyawan ta. So makuyawan ta no. Kumutaas ang gasolina, of course, hala, patay ang pagkuan ani, ang pag travel ani, of course, mo increase din ang price. Okay? And then the events of energy crisis basically changed the travel patterns throughout the world. Okay? Ano man, sa una siguro kung barato pa ang plitihan sa eroplano, barato pa ang plitihan sa automobile, of course, people would go easily. Okay, would go easily into specific destination. But if there is an increase of price in riding automobile, cars, or transportation, any transportation equipments or technology that are using fuel, okay? Nagagamit silang fuel, of course, the price increases. Ano man, kung if there is a problem with the fuel prices, okay, the more the higher the price is the more nga lesser ang supply. So that means lesser ang supply ana nga time. Okay? Lesser ang supply ana nga time kay nagkataas man ang presyo or else gitagaan silang mga taxes. Okay? So the present era is one in which travelers continue to look to alternative group-oriented modes of transportation. So, kung individual lang ka, kung if you traveled individually manggod, mas dako-dako imong mabayran. But if you travel nga group mo, daghan mo nga mag-share. Okay? So, the more nga mas daghan mo, okay? The more nga mas daghan mo nga mo travel, of course, the more nga mas lesser na po na imong mabayran. It's because daghan mo nga nag-contribute. Daghan mo nga nag-share sa fare or nagadaghan mo ang share sa bayranan. That is in post-mobility adjustment era. So, historical development of transportation system. So as you can see it here, natay mga kuan lang no, kung sa air transportation pa, okay? Nagkuan lang sa siya, nag-gliding, nag-paragliding lang ni sila. And then due to curiosity, nag-hot air balloon. And due to curiosity kay engine powered airship flight, okay? Then the next one is kuan na anay kuan no kaning na nilupad na ang kuan kan anay mga metal. So first engine powered airplane flight. So kauman ani jet na gyud siya, first privately funded human space flight in the spaceship 1, okay? So nakalupad na gyud nindot kay advanced na technology. So nanhipod sa kuan ni gamit sa mga chariots, okay? Guyud lang sa no guyud lang sa kahuman no gamit na silang murag kalesa, o di ba? So una di pa di motor, kalesa pa, kabayo pa ang gikuan, kabayo pang gamit. Para guyod ang una tao pa ang naguguyod. Sunod kabayo ang gaguyod. Sunod ani kay first steam engine capable of human transport. Okay, mo na ni di motor na. Sunod di advance siya nahimo na siyang kuan sa tawag ni car. Okay? Nahimo na siyang na purma-purma na siya atop. So karon kaning sunod diri is wala nahimo na gyud siyang car. Okay, or automobile. Okay, pag human ani, pag una diri is bangka-bangka lang. Sunod improve nahimo na siyang barko-barko. O sa klaro nga term ani no. So so na bangka-bangka nahimong barko-barko unsa day ni siya. So at the first place, gamay siya nga kuan ako sa So, bangka-bangka lang, gamay lang. Good for one person or two persons. Pagkahuman, pwede na pamilya ang musakay. May travel, daghan ang pwede makasakay. Pagkasunod is, dimotor na siya. Okay, dimotor na siya. Stream engines ang gamit. So, at first is earliest identified use of manships. Kani siya. Then the next one is European explored the world via ships. But, dili pa na siya dimotor. Di pag-abot na din hiya ang dapita. So, um, stream engines were used to power boats. Okay, nag-evolve. So, first cruise liner created for pleasure voyage. Okay, naka-improve na siya. Sunod, wow, nagkagwapa naman, nakanindot naman. So, historical development of transportation system is naka-evolve siya. As you can see, from ginagmay, nag-ana mo kadagko, gipowered na through engines, okay? Nagkanindot, nagka-innovate due to the upgrade of technology, the curiosity of human beings, the innovation, the creative minds of people, the unconstant or the unstoppable needs and wants of people. The main reason in providing the needs and wants of the customers, meeting the satisfaction, mao ni siya ang resulta. There is an innovation. There is an upgrade. Okay? So the next thing that is for the transportation system. Okay? Especially for the land. Mao ni siyang sa land. Land transportation ang kaning diri commonly. but it generally talks about the transportation system. But now, let's talk about the airline industry. So when you're talking about transportation system, we have three major transportation areas. We have we have the three major travel. Number one, we have land travel. Number two, we have sea travel, okay, or water travel. Number three, we have air travel. So let's talk about air travel or airline industry. Kung samday naa sa airline industry. So sama ni siyang airline industry, sir. So, this industry is from the word airline, okay, kanina mga eroplano, kanina mga flights nga nagalupad sa kalawakan. Ito yung lumilipad sa himpapawid. Okay? So, in December 17, 1903, at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, Orville and Wilbur Wright launched the aviation age when Orville made the first controlled, sustained flight in a motorized, heavier than aircraft. Okay, at this time, at this time, so kanin sila si Orville and Wilbur Wright is magsuon na sila. So, since magsuon na sila, grabe pa kayo ilang giagian no before is ana sila yung mga business, nag-business po ni sila. So before, wa ba ni sila kahuman og kanang ko ano, sila kahuman og college kay if I'm not mistaken si Wilbur got an accident and then wa sila katungtong og college dai, wa sila kuan og college. But naka-invent sila ani nga kuan. At first ang ilang negosyo is more on news printing. Napadayon sila sa news printing and then um ni-proceed sila into bicycle, nagkuan sila og bicycle and due to curiosity, ni-try sila aning kuan airplane. Okay? Ilang ginahuna ang curiosity nila nga palupad ka tano og motorized heavier than aircraft. Okay? So, ningon sila to okay, mag-innovate ta, magkuan ta, mag-experiment ta. So they conducted an experiment. And then after that, on December 17, 1903, okay, at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, Orville and Wilbur Wright launched the aviation age when Orville made the first controlled sustained flight in a motorized heavier than aircraft. So, kani siya akong ipakita ninyo ang atong ilahang kung ano. I think it's a photos, mga photos lagi ni siya. So, Orville and Wilbur. So, wait, kanina ba 'to ako nakitaan? I'm looking for the video. Okay, this one. So, kani siya class is mauni ang actually wala siya audio. This is a time nga nag-practice sila no. Look at this one. Look at the video. How they do it. Okay? Wala sila no. So mag-igsuon ni si Orville and si Orville and Wilbur Wright. So, according to their biography, in 1903, Americans Orville and Wilbur Wright completed the world's first successful controlled powered flight at Kill Devil Hills near Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. This British path. film clips shows the Wrights brothers flying in 1908. So, actually daghan is struggles ang ilang mga income silang business ila jung gigamit just to develop airplane okay, or aircraft. So, definition. So, airline, when we're talking about airline industry, about its definition is airline industry is a system of transportation. So, it's still a part of um system of their transportation, transporting people into different places, transportation people places to places. So part of aviation industry, so it is part of the aviation industry. So um when we are talking about aviation, para makita po yun ang tanan sa meaning sa aviation. Okay, so it's been said, okay, para maklaro. So it's been said that aviation is the activities surrounding mechanical flight and the aircraft industry. So when you are talking about aviation, it's more on aircraft, it's on the aircraft industry. These are the transportation or transportation nga nagalupad. Okay, this is what we call aviation. So aviation began in 18th century with the development of the hot air balloon and apparatus capable at atmospheric displacement through buoyancy. Okay, that is what we call aviation. Then moving people and goods. Okay, it's not just only people that it's been used also for pangangalakal. So we have it here utilizing airways. Okay, then one of the only true global business. Okay, so it's part of the global business, globally business nga naman. Ang airplane is di man limited ang iyang scope nga hilang gyud siya nga land. Okay, ang land transportation is limited ang scope. Okay, si water transportation is pwede nga dili limited ang scope kay pakadagan man siya through um sea travel. Maka-connect man siya into places. Kaya po si air is aviation travel or air travel is maka-move siya into different places. Okay? So, we have it here. The next one is types of airlines. Okay? So, type of airlines. So, types of airlines, schedule, fixed routes, and timings. Okay? Ang kaning mga airlines class, once you book a kanang kuan, a flight, of course, pwede siyang fix. Okay, pwede siyang fix. And then, pwede sad siyang non-scheduled. Pwede siyang schedule, pwede po siyang delay schedule. So, we have it here passenger. Of course, makadala siyang passengers. Makadala po siyang cargoes or mga shipments. O, shipments ka ng mga kuan, mga cargo ka ng mga kipadala. Okay? Then passenger and cargo. So, it could be passenger and cargos, both. Naamang goy ko ang class, naamang kay airplanes nga ang dala lang gid niya is good for cargos. Cargo lang gid ang sulod, walay passenger. Na per airplane nga passengers and cargos. So, we have it here. Pwede siya mo travel into intercontinental. Okay? Pwede siya international. Pwede siya domestic. Okay? Domestic, actually, um, kung when you are talking about domestic sa ato ang country lang, international, okay, international flight is pwede ta for example, within Asia, pwede siya maka-flight for witag continental in different continent, okay? For example, Asia to Europe, okay? So, inana siya. Daghan kay siya ways to travel or daghan kay siyang maadtuan kung when you are talking about airline transportation. The next thing is freedom of air. Okay, the freedom of air. Freedom of air or traffic right are aviation. Okay, so agreements between two countries which grant a country's airline approval to enter and land on another country's airspace. So from one country to another country, of course, there should be an agreement. There should be an allowed, okay, allowed agreement, or there should be a signed contract that will support that you're allowed to land in here in our territory. So we have it here, formulated as a result of disagreements over the extent of aviation liberalization and Convention and International Civil Aviation of 1944, known as the Chicago Convention. So in this one, there are some disagreements, like there is a agreement, or this is a discussion between the aviation people, the aviation leader or aviation owners, that um and including also the different countries and leaders, that talks about them that we must provide rules, we must provide agreements, okay, we must provide routes, we must provide specifications, okay, we must provide specifications on what are the category or what are the allowed flight that you can make in a specific destination. Depende. Depende kay, there are some countries also that they want nga gikan ra sa ilaha. There are some countries also nga that they don't mind kung kuan ba, anha ba sa inyo lang, or moadto sila sa kuan pod, pwede sila maka hitch sa lain, or else nga sila lang ang mo deliver, or sila lang ang mo padala. So there are different air freedom, but it's been agreed, okay, it's been discussed. So the first freedom, the right of an airline to overfly one country to get to another. So ang makalupad siya from other country to another country. For example, kani siyang kuan um sa to kaning diagram here. Home state means in your country going to a different country. Okay? It could be here. Okay, it could be this country or from this country. Okay, so the second freedom is the right of airline to land in another country for a technical stopover, fuel maintenance, and but that does not pick up or drop off traffic. So when we're talking about traffic class, it's about the people. Huh? When we're talking about traffic, it's about the people. So from here, from the country kung asa nanukad ang eroplano, nihunong og laing country, pero wa siya mag-drop off, wala po siya nag-pick up. And then padong kung asa ang ilang destination, nihunong lang sila diha, it's because nagkuan sila, like for example, nag-fuel sila, nagpakuan sila, nagpakarga og fuel, okay, kay kung di pa sila nagpakarga og fuel, ug layo ni nga travel, hutdan tugpa ni sa dagat, simba ko lang, no. So kuwang ang iyang fuel, kay di man na makarga og daghan nga unlimited nga fuel ang eroplano class, okay. So number three, the right of an airplane to register the right of an airplane registered in an X country to drop off traffic from country X to country Y. So, aking number three class is one destination. So, from this place, from this country, they drop off lang siya sa kanang country. Okay? Country A. Okay? Ba na yung freedom, another freedom. Then, the fourth freedom, the right of an airline registered in country X to carry traffic back to country X from country Y. Number four, okay? 'Di ba? Ang bot pasabot ani, pwede niyang dalhon o balik. For example, okay? CPC Airline Company, nag-drop off og pasahero padong sa kuan. For example, padong sa Japan. Then pag abot sa Japan, okay, pag abot sa Japan, nagdana po siya pasahero padong pauli. Okay, allowed siya magdag pasahero padong pauli. Okay? Remember, si kaning number 3 is iyang gidala. Si number 4, magdapod siya balik. Okay? Magdapod siya balik sa imuhang home state. Number 5, the right of an airline registered in country X to collect traffic of country Y and fly on the country Z, so long as the flight is either originates or terminates in a country. So, ang kaning sa freedom number 5. So, from home state, nilupad ka, nagdaka kuan, nagdaka o ganang pasahero here. So, pwede sad ka pick up og pasahero here nga nakabook padong na pod sa lain nga country. So kung si technical stop si number 2 nga freedom, si number 2 nga freedom is muhunong ra siya sa usa ka destination or sa usa ka country para magpa-fuel and not allowed nga mag-pick up og pasahero. Pero si freedom number 5 is allowed siya nga mo stop by diha nga country and to pick up passengers padung na pud sa lain nga sa man country. Okay, that is freedom number 5. Freedom number 6. The right of the airline registered in country X to collect people or passengers to a gateway or a point of country X and then and abroad. The traffic has neither our origin or ultimate destination in country X. So, number 6. So, it could be this is a home, okay, home state, okay? The company, okay? Ang usa ka airline company is pwede magdala og sa man pasahero padong sa country A, pasahero padong sa country B. So, according ni sa company ha, di ni kay eroplano lang. Di lang ni kay usa ka eroplano. It is a rule sa entire company or airline. For example, Cebu Pacific. Sa Cebu Pacific from Philippines, nagdala sa Japan, nagdala po siya og Taiwan. Okay? Or it could be ha, from home state, okay? Or it could be in this kanang kuan scenario. From home state, nagdala siya og kanang kuan passengers. Nadala na po siya kuan diri passengers sa po diri pag uli po niya nagpadaan na po siya passengers. Okay, pwede na siya. So, and then number 7, the right of an airline registered in a country X to operate entirely outside of the country X and carry in traffic between two other countries. Okay, number 7. So for example, in here, pwede siya both. Okay? Pwede siya back and forth, guys, ha? Like, for example, nakalupad na ka from your home state, naabot ka ani nga country. Pwede ka nga mo travel ani nga both nga country. Okay? So 8, the right of an airline registered country X to carry traffic between any 2 points in the same foreign country, also known as cabotage. So here, from home state, and then when you go into the state, pwede po ka mo dala og pasahero in that different states. Kana ang duha. For example, ni flight ka diri sa usa ka country, ni flight kag lain nga region, ni flight pa jud kag lain nga region, pwede. Okay? And then for the ninth freedom, the right of an airline registered in country X to carry cabotage traffic of country Y and service performed entirely within the territory of a country Y. That is, a foreign carrier operates domestic services. So here, so pag mano ni siya ngari guys nga pwede ra sad siya pag abot niya diha pwede siya dili mag-carry or pwede siya mag-carry nag-abot niya dinhi operate only in a foreign state nganha lang siya nganha lang siya mag transportation nganha lang siya mo transpo. So, in general, thing, no matter what is the agreement, okay, no matter what is the agreement, there is a specific rule, manggod ani guys, and it's time consuming for us to really took deeper kasi pang tourism man gud ni siya sa mga tourism nga gini nga subject ang kaning go deeper about airline. So we have it here in general thinking. There are a lot of freedoms. There are a lot of ways in transportation using air. Okay? Daaghan og ways. Daghan og pamaagi when you are talking about transportation. So depends on the policy, but in general, okay? Air travel or air freedom allows you to travel into different places, country to different country, or it could be country to country. Okay, it could be region to region. Okay, as long as you're traveling in a destination going into another destination. Okay, class. So, airline deregulation is a process of removing government-imposed entry and price restrictions on airlines affecting, in particular, the carriers permitted to serve specific routes. Okay, there is permits, there is a price restriction or taxes. Okay? In 1978, the US Congress passed the Airline Deregulation Act of 1978, which provided for the gradual phasing out of Civil Aeronautics Board or CAB and remove many of the regulations governing air carrier routes and fares. Okay, from you're talking about air carrier routes, this is what we are calling the nine freedoms of air. Okay, which means in this denying freedom, there is an agreement. There is a specific law that you need to follow. Sometimes makain ko, libuga ba ani niya? Uy, yes, that is true. But as long as you are certified and following the rules and regulation in aviation industry, you can fly, but differ on the contract that you will sign into that specific country. Because every country they have a specific regulations also that is submitted into the aviation industry that needs for approval also. Because you can go directly in a specific country if you don't have a signed contract. Magbuot-buot ka dito kung adto ka og kanang mga Muslim country, goy, mabumbahan ka dito di oras. So, a new form of regulation has been developed to some extent to deal with problems such as allocation of the limited number of slots available at the airports. Of course, ano man, kung sa yuta class na traffic, of course, sa airline sad na traffic. And dili unlimited ang parking area sa airport. Dili unlimited. It's a limited parking space. Like for example, in Mactan International Airport, pila raman ang airplane nga makaalaw madawat diha ah. So that's why there is a scheduling. Kabantay mo anak, ay mo ingon nga na delay. It's because of the parking space. Okay, guys, ang parking space di taw na yung taw normal nga parking space. Yes, na parking space kung dili magdagan ng eroplano, pero ang kanang normal nga pag-deliver, pag-drop off sa usa ka customer, of course, dili na siya normal nga mo park na kadiha padaogon nimo customer. Itunong jud na adtong baba nga connected sa eroplano. Katong murag gate nila extended gate. Okay? So, airlines of the Philippines. Sa man ang mga airlines nga nasa Philippines. So, we have Area, Z2, Cebu Pacific 5J. Okay, I remember my flight, 5J595 going to Davao and nakalimot ko adto Cebu Pacific um padong Manila. So, we have nakatry na ko ning AirAsia. Naka-try na ko ng Cebu Pacific, PAL Express naka-try na ko, Philippine Airlines naka-try na ko, Philippine AirAsia, wala ko ka-try pa ani. Tiger Air naka-try na ko ani. Sky Pasada wala ko, Skyjet, um kanang IT Air wala pa ko ka-try aning IT Air. Mo ni mga eroplano sa Pilipinas ha. International carriers. So Cathay Pacific, China Airlines, Delta Airlines, Dragon Air, Emirates Airlines. So kanisa is mo gini ginasakyan sa akong mother going to abroad. So from Portugal to Emirate country, mo ni iyahang sakyan kay nindot po rin siyang service ginang Emirates Airlines. Then Etihad, Jeju Air, so, Qatar Airways, nindot sa ning Qatar Airways, Royal Brunei, Singapore Airlines is really good also. Thai Airways is good side. United Airlines, okay, natin mga international. Then new planes. Airbus A380 is the largest commercial airline ever designed. It has a twin deck and seats 555 passengers and a typical three-class configuration of service. Then new planes, we have Boeing 787 Dreamliner. It's a long-range, mid-size, wide-body twin-engine jet airliner. It has a variant of seats of 210 to 335 passengers. It is a Boeing's most fuel efficient airliner and the world's first major airline to use the composite materials as the primary material in the construction of its airframe. So, I will stop here sa kung anong sa takutob sa air travel lang sa takutob, then later on atong i-discuss ang land travel o ang sea travel. Okay? So, once you have questions with the discussion, please PM me sa atong messenger or PM sa akong messenger so that I can assist you with the discussion and I can explain. So, dili tanan nahatag nako, maybe not all the information is needed, and if you are curious, because due to curiosity, you can search sad sa web. Okay, you can search on YouTube labi na sa kinabuhi ni sa brothers nga rights. So yun sa nila pag discover, yun sa nila pag study about aircraft, 'di ba? So the curiosity is there. The curiosity is there. The people, the hunger of people in traveling, so gutom gyud sir dili, the needs of people, why they need to travel, it's been developed or it's been motivated more when the travel or the transportation system was developed. Okay? So, transportation system really plays a vital role in tourism industry. Okay? Once again, everyone, good morning and have a blessed day. Continue to fight and always be reminded that you need to submit all your activities and outputs so that walay mahahagbong, no, so that makapasar tanan, para makapasar ang tanan, submit all your outputs and activities on time. Okay, God bless everyone. We'll see you next week. I'm hoping that next week or ay next meeting is maoki na gyud ang amo ang kuano evaluation or preparation for the COPC evaluation. Help us also pray that everything will be fine and everything will be good. Para mag-enjoy lang gihapon ta. Okay? We'll see you next meeting, guys. God bless, and I'm hoping that you'll study this one. Okay? Para makakatunsad mo. Okay? God bless and good morning.